Are you tired of losing every single argument with your wife? I'm going to give you 5 tips to win an argument. I'm Suzette, the Marriage Warrior, here to empower husbands on how to win some arguments in their marriage. I know you guys struggle with this because the woman always seems to trump you in arguments. However, let's first of all decide what an argument is. There are toxic cycles that couples get into, which you probably are familiar with inside of your own marriage. Then there are just conversations that we're just having, conversing, opinions, trying to get each other to understand what the other one needs to say, that you as a male, as a husband, may think ahead and say, we're about to get into a toxic cycle, so therefore I'm going to just stop talking about it. And you shut the whole conversation down. You are making an argument before an argument occurs, just because there's a sharing of dialogue. So first of all, you've got to change your perception about what an argument is. Now, the 5 tips to win an argument are, first of all, don't interrupt one another. Now, I empower you husbands on how to lead your wife without domination, okay? How to be the leader of the home. And the first thing that you need to do is frame the conversation. Don't interrupt. Just tell her, wait a minute, I was talking. Let me finish my statement if she interrupts. If you interrupt and she's in the habit of you correcting interruptions with y'all because you framed it when y'all are talking about harder issues and you say, let's not interrupt each other, let's just share each other's feelings, then the interruptions will stop. Because what happens in an argument to create an argument is I'm trying to share my opinion with you and then you interrupt me. And then when you're trying to share yours with me, I interrupt you. And then before you know it, that thing is escalating. So, I mean, you can quit it if you just stop interrupting. It's not that hard. So if you as the leader start framing the conversations, when you start to see interruptions, even by yourself, if you start to interrupt her, say, and then you stop yourself and say, wait a minute, I just interrupted you. She will learn from your leadership. And then giving each other respect inside of the conversation for just opinions. When a woman is talking to you about her opinion, it doesn't mean she is necessarily saying you're wrong or it's your fault. It means it's just her opinion. So if you're internalizing or personalizing that it's your fault or you're inadequate, then we've moved to a whole nother dynamic inside of the marriage. So don't let that happen. Stop internalizing her opinions as it's your fault or she's blaming you. She might just be reaching inside of you to share with you what she needs more from you to feel more loved, which you guys want to love your wife. So it's like, listen to her, don't interrupt her, let her tell you what she's feeling. Don't get all hurt because you think she's disagreeing with you or that, you're wrong or it's your fault. Stop all that thinking. Y'all think about that too much because that's what's making you shut down normal conversations. Okay, so that's number 1. Stop interrupting. Number 2, use active listening skills. Okay, all right, let's kind of dumb this down just a little bit. It's not active listening when you're just staring at someone like a deer in the headlights. Don't just look at her in a flat affect way, pretending you're listening, while really what you're thinking about is who's winning the ball game, or I can't wait till she finishes talking because I need to check my emails or whatever, and you're just staring at her. She can read that, and that will create an argument because she'll say to you, you're not listening to me. And you're like, I'm sitting here listening to you. I'm looking at you. And then we're in an argument at that point. Okay. So start actively listening by actively listening, like being engaged when she's talking. Listen to her in a way that you may ask her questions. You're paying attention. You're saying, well, what about that? Well, you said this before, but I don't understand this, to where she knows you're interested. Otherwise, if you're waiting for the boredom to pass so that you can go back on your phone, you're not going to win an argument there. You are going to create an argument. Okay, so that's step number 2. Step number 3, be open-minded. Guys are very tunnel vision creatures. Y'all, that's why y'all can kill deers and hit golf balls and catch fish. All this tunnel vision stuff that you guys do, you were created to kill the hunt. So because of that tunnel vision, you are not peripheral at all, especially when you're talking to your wife. Now, interesting enough for you guys, I do see a lot of my clients who are males trying to bring their peripheral overview of business inside of their marriage, but they don't seem to succeed in the same way. So when you are being open-minded at work, you're thinking of all kinds of other ideas and how to bring other challenges to the situation that you're addressing. You're connecting people to people. I mean, y'all are moving around. Y'all got it going on out there. You got to bring that inside of your marriage. And so when you're actively listening at the business table, when y'all are negotiating a deal, you are listening keenly on what this guy is saying because you're going to try to outsmart him over here. Well, you don't have to outsmart your wife when you're at home, when you're actively listening. You're just learning a skill. Well, you're taking a skill from work, bringing it home that you already know. You don't have to learn anything new. You just got to bring it home to where then she can feel like you're open-minded in your thoughts, in the way that you're seeing what she's thinking about or sharing with you. And then being able to engage in that conversation, because then you won't be in an argument. You don't even have to win the argument. There will be no argument, because I know that's what you guys don't want to do. Y'all don't want to argue. Okay. Also, getting your mindset on your way is not the highway. Just take that whole control mindset away from your thoughts, because your way may not be right. It may be right. It might not be. Her way is not right. It may be right. It may not be. The point is you want compromise. If you're a leader in your home, like you're a leader in your business, what you're trying to do in that deal in business is you're trying to pull compromise together, right? That's how business is done. Well, that's the same skill set you need to bring with your wife, instead of you feeling like, if she don't do it my way, then I'm out of here. Or she's got to have her way all the time. There is no way. Get over that. There's no way. No way. Nobody's way. What we're trying to do is bring compromise, and understanding that just because she may not agree with you does not mean she is demeaning you and critical of you and you're inadequate. Stop all that thinking. She may not agree. You do with her what you would do at the negotiating table, and that is bring compromise between the two, where each of you gain something and each of you lose something. But it's a compromise between the two of y'all that makes both of y'all happy. You already have the skill set. Number 5, compromise, 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 compromise. Don't give her her way. You don't try to get your way. Just compromise. If you like this content and you want to hear more, please hit the subscribe button below.